Yeah, today is the D-Day. After all is said and done, the election is here today, 25th of February in 2023. So, like you all know, a lot of people are out there doing all they can to cast their vote for their preferred candidate, which is encouraged. And whatever it is that you have to do today, just to make sure that you cast your votes perfectly and also guide and secure your vote so that at the end of the day, once the votes are counted in your polling unit and you all know what it is, those who are taking note should be taking note and don't just disregard it as one of those things. Because if, for example, these things are done, from state to state, of unit to unit, or local government to local government, so the way they collate it, it depends on how the final or actual vote, you know, or actual number is derived. So if, for example, in your polling unit, you know that it's 50 that goes to your party, and whatever other things that go to the other party, etc. And this whole thing has been noted. And all of a sudden, when you get to the state capital or to the local government center, and they start to try to manipulate the system and what have you, then you have to cry out. Now you now have the YouTube, you have the phone in your hand, it's a computer gadget, you can use it to communicate to the world. Then we pick it from there. So because we can't all be in every location at the same time, so but in every little way that we can, then we have to do our own bit and pieces to put things together and make sure that this whole thing at least is relatively, you know, and relatively fair. Not by disenfranchising others and why you're trying to enfranchise others, others by whatever means. So that is what we have to do. So now let's just go to the street and see what's going on. From some live sessions in some from some other more advanced studios and stuff.
But here in Okota, it seems as if the crowd is extremely huge. The crowd is very, very, very resilient. They want to exercise their civic responsibilities, but it seems as if INEC officials are not living up to the expectations of what is being expected of them to do here. But we know that with this kind of reports, I know they'll be able to do something to either send more staff to help out based on the situations there. And once we drop this report, we'll be going in to see how we can talk to the INEC officials to know exactly what they can do and what they cannot based on the present situation.
Thanks to you, Oje Mokoli, and we'll still be keeping tabs with you throughout the course of this cycle and throughout the course of the day. Yeah?
Just imagine that. INEC has been prepared for this day for the past 4 years. They've been preparing allocation here and there, money here and there, etc. And all of a sudden, you're just telling me you're short of staff. When guys are standing there looking for jobs, when guys are waiting there looking for some opportunities, to just what is so special about what INEC officials are doing than just to sit down there and do things according to the rules of the game. Bring out your beavers machines and let somebody print and go its own separate way and let the next available person come online. So I don't know what all this nonsense is about, but I see it as a strategy to try to manipulate the system again.
You can see with yourself that a lot of people came out, but I have one question to ask the INEC. How can someone just go to your website, just make a transfer and they give you a fake address and you didn't verify it? We see a lot of strange faces that they don't live in this vicinity, and how come can we accept that? That's a fraud. For someone to transfer to a place he or she is not living is a fraud, and I think we have to take that up.
Have you taken it up officially in any way?
Definitely after the election we have to take it up, because it's not right. We see a lot of strange faces that they don't even live in this local government, and and they are voting there. How come? When you do it, transfer, you must be able to verify any address you gave. Thank you.
All right, we've just listened to Oba Legushi there speaking, addressing the press, and stating that strange faces literally showed up at several polling units. And, okay, let's continue. Now, in Edo State, there are reports that hoodlums have snatched the Beavers machine and other electoral materials. Now, with that development, voters in Oredo Ward 48, Unit 43, may have been disenfranchised. All the voting cubicles were destroyed, and the polling unit is also a few meters away from where Governor Obaseki voted.
They started running from this way, then they carried our things, they carried our box, they carried my machines. They almost used plank to even hit my head safe. So they just came, the ballot paper they ran, immediately the police came. The boxes they could recover, they recovered it. There was one security, there was a security personnel there. That was all that was just there, just one.
I was there, there is no security. Some group of boys just gathered, took the ballot paper, we bought the machine. I was scared. God don't have anything to fight them or to stop them.
No presidential election, it's no security on grounds.
Police, they're among of the way they call this problem. So if police not get there,
they call the police there, they carry ballots, police there here. We don't see anything. All the bus don't say they carry command. Not the empty bus they front for that side. If you go, you'll see empty bus for front. What problem be this one? If they begin to talk, they don't say they cause violence for the country.
All right, to our panelists here in the studio, we've actually gotten the reports. Arise News doing a good job bringing live updates of how things are actually playing out. Now, my question is this simple. We have over 87 million people that have collected their PVCs. We're hoping to actually break the threshold in the number of we have Ozioma Okoli, our producers are saying. Now let's cross over to Ozioma Okoli with the latest. Ozzy he promised to talk to INEC officials. We have them there. Ozzy, over to you right now.
Yeah, so we now have the INEC officials at Baba Ewe polling unit. That's 023 at Agor Palace, the largest polling unit in Okota here. So his name is Mike, and as you can see, he's still working. And he'll be telling us why so much delay and the challenges and the frictions here that the electors have been complaining about. Mike, can you bring us to speak?
This morning, the materials were not enough. So we are short of materials. That's the first thing. We had to wait for over 2 hours. Then after 2 hours, we had to come up here to set up. We came around after 11. So the voting started late. And they have about 1,896 voters that are to vote here. And aside that, we're supposed to be 4 here. But we have just 2 people here. So imagine the 2 of us controlling this crowd. I'm the one handling the 2 pivots and everything. So the challenges, we also have the INEC stamp challenges. We were able to receive the stamp this morning. So we had to go and borrow from another polling unit that are done with their voting. So the voting is in process now. Okay, so just pray we finish on time because a lot of people has not voted.
Okay, so I need to let you go so that you concentrate on what you're doing. But before I let you go, how will the time be augmented? Because we heard that by 2:30, voting is supposed to stop. Will there be an extension here based on the present situation of things?
Yes, there should be an extension because we came late. So there should be an additional hours of like maybe 2 hours, maybe by 4, so we can give enough people to vote because it's their right. People must vote, so there will be an extension.
So is there any attempt to bring in more INEC officials to come and help you?
Yes. We've made contact of some of our people that they are done with their votes. So by the time they count their vote, they've done the necessary thing, then they'll come and join us.
All right, so just continue what you're doing. So you have heard from the INEC official who says that definitely the time of voting here will be extended by at least 2 or 3 hours. Well, it depends. And then with the extension too, they are also expecting more hands to come help them out, the officials, from those who must have finished in their various polling units to join them in this polling unit to make sure that things work very fast. and then to bring up to speed, because from what we are looking at here and what we can see, a whole lot of people are yet to cast their vote. And we've been told that this particular polling unit is the largest in Okota, in Agor Palace Way, Isolo local government to be precise. And from that, we can also talk to probably the police officials who surely should be having a tough time controlling this mammoth crowd. So, sir, how have you been able to? Okay, they are running away. You know, as usual, they will not want to talk to us.
So, whatever it is, let's hope that everything goes well with Okota there. And let's go back to.
Will they be there if you don't have a PVC?
Crowd of things happening. Maybe they accompany some people, but it's something to look out for.
Around that area. So I can imagine the kind of security that will be in that area, just compared to what you saw also, similar rather to what you saw in Yola.
So that is Tinubu and his wife.
Regulations, and your images also come from abroad, where you see prime ministers going to vote or presidents going to vote, and it's just a simple, straightforward exercise. I think Isenwa has already nailed it in a good way, that in an eloquent way. That
okay, so see this now. I'm sure he's even having a challenge getting to where he would even begin to the process of voting himself. I mean, see the crowd.
Absolutely, but look at the crowd. Look at the composition of that crowd. You have the media, and the ones on the forefront, the media, the security.
It's expected that the media will be there,
and it's also expected that security people will be there.
Okay,
and others, as Shehu has already said, there are lots of people who are seeing him for the first time in years.
They've moved these polling units forward. This polling unit is now almost half a kilometer away from where it used to be. Now, this is at the tail end of the street. Anybody who is very familiar with this area, this is in front of the Place restaurant, just opposite ShopRite in the Ikeja area.
And also,
and this polling unit where he voted the last time was down the street, just half a kilometer to this very place.
It may be
the delineation.
It may be a unit. Don't forget 56.
And also, we have Atiku and the PDP.
You say by rich, I want to know that I will figure gather other people who want to vote for people.
Using money, to try to buy votes in Edo State.
You say by rich, Ugiomo, make a ask about and see where I be?
Yes.
Okay. How much they want share?
Now what we reach feed that day because I transfer everybody want to. They said they don't want to take money for feed. So 13K.
Okay, 13K.
Yes.
So now after we don't vote finish, now we'll collect a beer before we vote.
Yes, yes. Then they do transfer.
Then they'll do transfer. And no matter the number of persons, Abi.
Yes.
Okay. I just want this show, so I mean, because this whole thing now, because I for really say make me for like even mobilize. Yeah, when I did now, I for even know how to mobilize because this kind of thing. I did
old road for Saturday. I still know Ugiomona.
I know Ugiomona.
Back on road safety, na my house there. Now me and road safety the check fence.
Back of road safety, yeah.
Yes.
Name my pizza for this.
Yes.
But is there any way I fit mobilize person with small money now? Make person fit do 1 or 2 now. If not, how you reason now?
No. I do where you reach feed. You know they go that one.
Okay, now where person reach feed?
Cafe just stop.
Okay.
If you know say you get people, we don't say you bring, we want vote for PDP. You will tell me, Okara and come my side. So all of us will sit down. We go arrange everything.
Okay, that's very Saturday, Abi.
Before Saturday.
Okay, before Saturday.
Yeah, we're supposed to meet before Saturday now.
Okay. Okay. You see sharp like that. Blessing now Basek na support this thing, Abi?
Yes.
Okay, now release the money.
Yes.
Okay. No wahala. But people.
Oh my people, I think now they hear the tuning. They fine tuner. First of all, you don't talk the amount of money involved, but she was really talking about transfer and stuff like that. Then now, this guy's okay, but I need to mobilize now, so I need some dough. We say No, but if you get them now, but meanwhile, if we still have to see, like before Saturday, which is like yesterday, maybe yesterday night. That is why when I make a video yesterday night, I said I know that these people are quite busy right now, doing all sorts of things, to try to win. Because Obaseki is desperate because maybe he must have been promised something, by the Article camp and what do you call him, Okowa. You understand? Because they know that they don't stand any chance as far as Edo State is concerned when it comes to presidential election. This 2023, because the people has already made up their mind on whom they want to vote for. So, but all this 10K can be very tempting to some very poor people. But at the end of the day, maybe they'll still have a way out of the whole system to vote who they still want to vote for and still collect that 10K if they can. So that would be the next thing. So, but whatever happens later, then we know. But for now, we now know that the PDP are desperate in Edo State to try to, garner some votes by hook or crook. Let's just put it that way. So, but I hope this time around they be taught a lesson because, first of all, Atiku is not supposed to be in this ticket. So, and the Southerners should stand their ground and make sure that they frustrate this PDP mantra. Whether Okowa is involved or not. No, kick their asses, out of this whole equation so that they will learn because this thing will definitely reshape how the future will be, when it comes to Nigeria politics and what have you. And those who are be so braggish about the whole system, then they will have a rethink and start to work for the system, work for the people with the system or bring a system that work, for the benefit of the people. So that is what we are about. So let's go further and hear what she has to say.
Well, I want to hello question when I want to ask now. They hear me. A lot of people money people will want collect money now. They go maybe they fit collect money for you. They want go support another. I don't take cash.
If they want vote, especially the agent is the way they look. They put up another party now. We don't give them money. Agent they with they there now. They look there now.
Okay, now mean after they don't cast the vote finish, now they'll still collect the money 10,000.
Not the cash, not transfer instantly.
Okay, transfer.
Instantly, no cash now.
Huh? But that transfer now, you go see get. Say now we say sometimes network is slow. You understand?
Don't worry.
Say now cash people they like see for one cash.
No worry for that one. Cash, you me and you say cash not in Nigeria.
But cash no dey but some I think say this thing at least I think could get level reach. They supposed to collect cash keep for us. So people will see share.
Cash no they say they don't need. Obaseki say no want money. Anybody where they see with money for exactly they will arrest them.
Okay, now make I say more they don't transfer.
Transfer.
Okay. But as you can't talk and I say before that, the same I bring a come before a day before that day so. Does it mean that if I bring a coin a day before that day, anything day for that very day if I bring a coin, I been at everything.
People want vote, I want to see them. I will discuss. I will tell them how they want to after voting, how they will work out. We want to have to vote. You know, that's so now.
Okay.
What we will not do meeting for SIP. Now law they put anybody they see we wayo for SIP, they go arrest them. Anybody they see cash for in hand, they go arrest them.
Okay. Now your place now go be the meeting point where they call the collect the transfer.
Anybody will not say go PDP will be your side. You bring the con, all of us sit down. We'll talk. You understand? So when it is on Saturday, I don't already see before Saturday. We know I want to do our things.
Okay.
So, and I know you everything.
The fact that they need authorization to talk. But from what I've seen so far, the Nigerian police security agents here, I can only see one person. I don't know where others are. And we have a very huge crowd here. Probably these people have been able to comport their activities very well. They've been very, very civic about it. They've been going about it the normal way. Probably that is why we do not have a breakdown of law and order. But surely, if there is an additional security personnel here, it will definitely help. I've cited another policewoman behind our camera, so making it 2 for now. So probably others are in the crowd, but we need more. They need more hands here so that they can speed up the process and then have a good election today.
All right, Ozzy Okoli, many thanks for the update. Hopefully we'll stay on that story and you give us more details later. Liberals, I thought the era of ballot snatching is over, and then when you hear in Edo State, this scenario is at play again.
Not just in Edo, and we talked about it even before now, that for you to build people's confidence in the process, some of these challenges you have to eliminate them. In Sulere Aguda also, as we speak now, there are videos sent to me by people who, couldn't access their votes, or couldn't vote in those areas. And that's where I have a problem with the chairman's statement that, look, in areas where they are monitoring late arrival of materials, and that if you are on the queue, as at 2:30, you will still be allowed to vote if you are on the queue. So the question is, like the Okota we just saw now, how many people are on the queue with that kind of massive crowd and lack of control?
Those who are actually registered to be on the queue.
So, because not everybody will be on that queue by 2:30. So some people will just be hanging around. Considering the fact that materials arrived late, how then should we ensure that you extend the time of voting, not just for those on the queue, because you did not arrive as at when you were supposed to arrive? So you said between 8 and 2:30. So the presumption is that materials will arrive from 8. So a situation where you arrive by 12, like we've seen in certain cases, and you now say a man came in, he was not on the queue, but he was there until 11, and you weren't around. So all of these challenges, we should not, the laws are made for man and not man for the law. So in applying this law, once you arrive late, extend the time, not just say for those on the queue. So at least you become flexible, you give room. And then on the issue of ballot box snatching and destruction of materials, I've listened to Oba Elegushi also, same people, strange faces. The question is, were these people, were they transferred legally by INEC? If they were transferred legally by INEC to vote in that polling unit, is there a problem with it? It shouldn't be a problem. Because INEC has verified these people to vote in those areas. And in transferring, INEC does not ask you to identify that you live in that area. After all, there are people who registered in Victoria Island, but their residence is not in Victoria Island. I know somebody who had to travel to come sleep over in Victoria Island because he wants to cast his vote today.
Okay, let me bring you along, because you were taken aback by the statement of Obasayi Elegushi and what he said. What did you make of his statement?
Right, I think it's so unfair to disrupt any polling unit, regardless of any reason at this point in time.
You say he didn't know several of the faces that showed up in his polling unit.
So I think the process there will be to probably talk to INEC during, after, make sure that doesn't happen in the next 4 years. But you have to let the election go on as smoothly as possible. And the way I'm seeing things, and it's not just in Ikate, we're receiving so many reports from across the nation. Today is not feeling like election day for many Nigerians. It's feeling like suffer-head day. It's feeling like regression day. It's feeling like an eye-opener that, are we really going to progress? We can't take it anymore. Nigerians have been through so much. This was that one day of hope, that one day for progress, that one day to say, we want to choose our leader. We want to choose who will take us forward. We can see that last elections did not have a lot of attention. Nigerians were so focused on the presidential election.
That's very bad.
And it was so important because it starts from that top. The presidential election is so critical. If we get that wrong, almost everything else is wrong. And I can see why it was so important to many of us, many Nigerians across the nation. Of course, yes, we're still going to vote for the NAS elections, the NAS candidates, but presidential is so critical, and we need our voices to be heard. Nigeria is not within a few people. Nigeria is not within the incumbent party. Nigeria has 200 million citizens, over 200 million citizens who deserve a voice in electing their president. If their current administration had just one job in the past 8 years, wait, you didn't give us good education. You didn't give us good food. You didn't give us a good standard of living. Many have jackpot. Many are suffering today. We have 90% poverty. We're asking for just one thing: free and fair elections to decide who the next president will be. And someone comes on to say that there's a reasonable expectation that it would not go as planned.
We still have, you have to praise the people's resilience. We still have another elections in March. Hopefully, one or two elections.
I must say this. This is just heated the time 2:30.
Okay, officially, but of course, we
wait to hear from
there will be extensions at this rate.
Will it extend to tomorrow?
Not tomorrow, but at least another 2 hours or thereabouts.
Areas where the people are saying we must vote.
No, but the INEC chairman has made it clear that if you're on the queue, no, before
we're talking about
2:30.
Ikate, for example, where ballot materials have been destroyed, and those ballot materials are printed polling unit specifics.
True.
They are serialized, and the materials are lying on the floor, and the people are saying we must vote. And then we're talking about substantial compliance.
All right, on that, we'll still come back to that issue of substantial compliance. All right, you're still watching the special coverage of the Nigeria's 2023 elections. We'll be right back after this break. Stay with us.
So, as you can see, it's a cartel that they are talking about, that they snatch some buses and destroy some this thing. Maybe that was done intentionally, to try to wreck or depreciate the numbers of votes that are supposed to come from that local government, because they know that a certain demographic, set lives in those areas. If you understand what I mean, because in Lagos, for example, some specific people sometimes occupy some areas, and maybe due to the electoral history of that area, that they normally or usually favor the particular party or some particular candidates, etc. And at this time around, they've already known that those people are going to vote against their own wish. So they go there, they try to disrupt or spoil things for that unit. Because as it is, if vote did not commence in that area, or if the votes are cancelled in that place, it's a minus to whoever that was made to benefit from that polling unit and that polling point. So because INEX or the Nigerian the situation doesn't really look into those things when they are making or when they are making laws or taking or doing passing judgments, the electoral violence and things that happen during the elections. So it's a pity that things like that still have to happen, but it's bound to happen. But how come that the security men were not on ground, at least to forestall that kind of situation? Because we have enough police. If they say so that we have enough police, why wouldn't they at least station enough police in those polling units on this important day? Or so I don't understand it. So sometimes it's really painful when you hear things like this happening, because it's a total disfranchisement of maybe the National Assembly members, from that area, not just the presidential, etc. So it's painful to see things like that still reoccurring every now and then. So let's see, let's just say amid Naira scarcity, Nigerian politicians become creative and he started to share meal ticket to voters. So you see, meal ticket is something that's never happened before in Nigeria. I said it before this election that all these things were going to come up because it's like where they were supposed to spend 10,000, this time they'll be spending maybe 100, and the people will be happy simply because there's a new note, and because they don't going to POS and cost a lot of money, so they're getting it for less, in cash and whatever. Some people might be pushed to do what they are not supposed what they were not supposed to do, too. So that's it. So like this other boy here, that teenager that was arrested, he said police arrested teenager, paid 5,000 naira to deliver live ammunitions to hometown of PDP presidential candidate. That is Atiku hometown. So whichever person that was involved in this whole processes, that one is still left to be seen. Then the other one is stranded voters at Enugu. These are Obi stronghold. Voters stranded as late arrival of materials delay election process in Enugu. The same thing that just happened in Okota just now. So when you look at it very well, you know that Okota area is also filled with some, with some people from the east and other Southerners who are mainly there. So that's even Jonathan himself, former president, former Nigeria president, Goodluck Jonathan, laments late commencement of election and arrival of electoral, officials. These are not materials, officials. So who knows what that means? So was it the officials or the whatever? So you see again the protest. You see protest rock Bayelsa State over shortage of ballot papers. How can ballot papers be short? Nigeria. Why would that country ever move forward? How can ballot paper be short? Not staffs this time. In Okota, it was staffs. Now this one is the paper itself. So without the paper, then where will you put your thumbprints on? Is it the the whole thing is just so fucked up? So because sometimes you see that this whole thing is just you know well planned. That it's always well planned, well documented, and well presented. Then the people feel a bit of relief. But at the end of the day, when it comes to implementation, then it becomes the problem. So let's hope that things still go well, no matter what happens. So this is it. These are the faces of the people we are expecting to see in the seats of power. So I hope those three are not a part of it, if you know what I mean. So it's only one person that will emerge. So that one person knows himself. So only God knows that for now. It's in Nigeria today, troops out en masse to vote a successor of Buhari, who would pilot the affairs of the country for the next 4 years. Say report that major contenders at the polls today include Atiku, Bola Tinubu, Peter Obi, Kwakwaso, and many others. And I like to say Showore, so and many others. So I don't know where Kwakwaso even came into the equation. That people are not even remembering and Showore all of a sudden. So that is it. So in my book, it's Peter Obi, Kwakwaso, uh, um, Tinubu, Atiku, and what have you. So but then whoever win the race, then we see. But let it be clean. If it's not clean, then we'll make sure we boot you out of the office by every means necessary. The presidential election kick start 8 a.m. today and runs through till 2 p.m. That is what they say. It's already after, almost 2 o'clock in Nigeria, right? So, but I don't think that should be the case because a lot of polling units, like you see, they were not there on time. So they went there late. So here you can see Autumn, governor of Benue State, casting his vote and trying to examine the ballot papers very well, because I guess he has to, because yesterday we heard some news yesterday that and the Labour this thing party senatorial candidate were not having their logo well printed out or well spelled out, etc., etc. So I don't know how truthful that was, because that news was coming from Lagos yesterday. So, but whatever it is, today is the D-Day. Let things happen and let it happen for the betterment of Nigeria, and let everyone have fun while doing it. Let them enjoy the season while doing it. Because today will come and go, and Nigeria will still roll on, either as one entity or as a divided entity. So whatever it is, that space called Nigeria today, we live on, you know, maybe for another 2 years, another 5 years, another 4 years, another 50 years. Who knows? But exercise your franchise and enjoy it while it lasts. But please, don't risk your life for any politicians, no matter how much you are paid, no matter how much is involved, because sometimes they all come in there and end up being the worst than the first one that used to be there. So all this shouting and what have you, at the end of the day, it might get you to nowhere. So, but I hope that with God on our side, we'll be able to get or make the best out of this whole thing. Because we can't just say, because it has been like that, that we are training the tower. We are not doing that. We have to strive to make things work, and things have to work for that country to move forward, or at least for every unit, as a state unit, to move forward and live their own lives the way they want it and progress. You don't necessarily have to move with Abuja all the time. If Edo State can really move and do its own thing and prosper, then who cares if Abuja is doing fine or not? It's only when your states are not doing fine that's when you care about moving out to other states and try to do things there. So every state that you live in, you wish that that state was doing fine, you know. So if that state is doing fine, I don't think you will have any reason to be rushing, whether it's your home state or not. So who really cares? After all, there are Nigerians living abroad. You know, we are not born abroad. There are Nigerians living in Togo, who are not born in Togo, and living in Benin, who are not born in Benin, or living in whichever country, Cameroon and even Congo and the rest. You know, Sierra Leone and Liberia and all other African countries, and they are doing fine there. They just want their peace and their quiet. That's what we also need in Nigeria: peace and quiet, you know, and some peaceful development and things like that. Then you see things working out. You know, that's how it has been. People are industrious, people are, you know, hardworking. They just need that space to, you know, to do their thing or carry out their trade and do what they have to do. You know, so but the government is not trying at all. It's only our sportsmen and women that are making Nigerians proud. Making Nigerians proud, whether abroad or, you know, or at home or abroad. And our Nollywood, you know, actors and actresses, and the entertainment industries, you know, the music, etc., and the art generally. They are the only ones actually making us proud, making us smile. The politicians, the only thing they bring is misery. They bring sorrow every time. When they're about to get power, they bring stress, they bring distress, they bring problem. When they get the power, they bring problem. You know, so and at the end of the day, you just end up fighting yourself. Some are fighting their friends, while others are fighting their brothers because their brothers belong to or give their support to another political party, you know, etc. There's no need for that. It's all foolishness. I've seen a case where a husband belongs to another party and the wife belongs to another party. Yet they're still husband and wife. At the end of the day, one of the party won. I'm talking about years back. So, and I guess as I speak right now, it's still the same thing. They all live in the same house, and they will laugh it off. They will laugh it off at the end of the day. Oh, your party lose. Oh, your party won. Oh, your party this. Oh, okay. Now that the party has won, what have you gotten? Blah 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 blah. Oh, look at your party that won. What have they done for us now? Nothing. Things like that. You just laugh over it, and life goes on. You understand? So that is the way it should be. Don't take them too serious because they don't take you serious. So, ladies and gentlemen, let me wrap this clip up for now, and go about again to canvas for, do some other little, scavenging here and there to see what is going on. So I'll bring you some more fresh news again. So here was the Dati, Yusuf Dati, Baba Ahmed. He has cast his vote in the ongoing presidential election and National Assembly elections. So he's cast his vote in Kaduna, in Kofa Gidan, Irokaya, Tudu, Tutuwada, Zaria. I know that place, in Kaduna. So Tutuwada used to be some area where foreigners also live. So Wike, the same thing. He also cast his vote in Obiakpo local government. So here's Yomi Osibanjo. His word is very empty. How come? Maybe his men are not happy or what? Or they are not yet awoken. So those are the important people I have to show you. The rest, I don't think, to me, they are not. They are the ones causing the problem of Nigeria, and they have been causing it. People like Gandola and what have you. So let's wrap it up for now, and I'll pick it up from there again. I'll bring another clip, very soon, in a few minutes from now. So have a nice day. Give us a thumbs up, please, and share this video. Let those who are not opportune to watch the live and listen clips directly also have an opportunity to go through them and see what happened. I know this video is long today, more than I would like to, but today, like it's a special day, so that's why it has to be so. Thank you, and God bless you. Share and like our videos, and please subscribe, please subscribe, because by subscribing, you're helping my channel to grow, helping our channel to grow, for the good of all of us and for our community. So this is the community developmental plans that we have and can contribute on. So with this one, this will be another medium for us, to go deep and touch on our communities, both home and abroad, in various ways. So stay blessed